Greetings, I'm Gaia, and today we'll be answering the question, what is a Vtuber? Most of you will already know what a Vtuber is. With the recent resurgence in popularity, more people are recognizing that Vtubers are beginning to enter the mainstream. Some are very positive examples. Other instances of media focus are less positive.
Guys, anybody that's role-playing as this is a fucking grown man. Or has a working in some type of like basement. Like, I'm not even trying to be weird, but like, chat, like, if we're being real, like, what the fuck am I looking at?
But there is a lot of focus on Vtubers at the moment. So, what exactly are they? Vtuber is a blanket term, shortened from the longer title virtual YouTuber. A Vtuber is someone who uses a virtual avatar, either 2D, 3D, or mixed media. We'll get into examples later, to represent themselves while providing entertainment and/or educational content. Vtuber representation varies greatly, but the general concept is someone has an idea for their brand identity, designs a character, and pays someone to create, then rig that character to respond to their IRL movements. I added the asterisks to someone because a Vtuber isn't always a person. Though a common misconception does exist that all Vtubers are actually 40-year-old men or simply AI behind the scenes. In order to tell you where this comes from, I would have to go back to the beginning. It all starts, not there, dear God, not! Vtubers have technically existed for a long time. Some of your favorite YouTubers, such as Swoozy, uploaded their first vlog on November 11th, 2008. Or maybe you watched The Odd One Is Out, whose earliest public video was posted on August 30th, 2004. These early storytelling YouTubers laid the groundwork for the term now known as a PNG tuber. A related term, more specific but technically a VTuber, PNG tubers utilize images as their representation and expression as opposed to a fully rigged 2D model. While these specific YouTubers have since shown their face, they still consistently use a PNG avatar to tell their animated stories. A great example of this method of storytelling, but with an innovative twist, would be Shindigs. Their use of this medium to create fun live moments with chat and compose them together as an engaging story for YouTube is highly entertaining.
You keep missing. Oh, try. I'm down here. No, I'm down here. No. No, no, no. No, wrong. That's the wrong area. That's the wrong area.
Kaeriuu has many relevant examples for new VTubers to get started with a PNG model before their 2D version is complete. I recommend checking out their video and considering starting out as a PNG tuber before investing in the high costs of 2D and 3D models. To get down to the actual root of Vtubing, we have to go even further back, to individuals such as Ami Yamato, who uploaded her first vlog using a virtual 3D model on June 13th, 2011. Or maybe you've heard of Weatheroid Type A Airi, who first aired on April 13th, 2012, as a live news anchor for a 24-hour Japanese weather forecasting company. Others would argue that the first official VTuber was Kizuna Ai, the first to actually coin the term in 2016. Kizuna Ai, who is not an individual, but a team of people working in tandem with a voice actress to provide a cohesive experience, expanded on what we recognize now as a VTuber. Now that we know where the term and its origins come from, we ought to get into what VTubers look like now, and the many, many forms they come in. Sit back, grab your popped corn, your waifu body pillow, and your gamer supplements, not sponsored, because we're going to go down the rabbit hole of what exactly it means to be a VTuber in 2024. Like any medium of personal expression, people begin to innovate and expand on the original concept over time. There are countless examples of current-day VTubers using non-traditional methods to present their avatars. Faeri Sami, a Rococo painting come to life, has an elegant and exceptionally unique presentation for their 2D model. Or, if you're looking for something more retro-inspired, BlubbrMuffins is a great example showcasing the high range of possibilities in pixels. Clover is defining what it means to be the absolute cutest, constantly adding new adorable creatures to their pasture and making incredible strides learning Live 2D in real time on stream. Yomi Quinnley is creating mixed reality chat interactable effects that are truly terrifying. And that's just the world of 2D models. Many opt to entirely skip going through the 2D process, and instead go straight to 3D or motion capture. Squeegee 3D is quickly making waves with her educational style content, breaking down the barrier between entertainment and education while helping more people to understand why and how a good character design works. Many of you are probably here because current media attention surrounding VTubers is largely focused on drama and controversy. Recent clarifications on the Twitch guidelines have led to a string of VTubers being banned or warned about their appearance and behavior. This has led to the perception that Twitch is expressly targeting VTubers. This attention, coupled with IronMouse breaking the all-time Twitch sub record, has had everyone talking about what exactly a VTuber is. A lot of people are asking if VTubers are even real people, which they are. Even in the case of Nuero Sama, an actual AI VTuber who was created and is still managed by a real live person as a passion project. Vtubing, the creator of Nuero Sama, has been meticulously adding more features and compatibility options so other VTubers can have fun and unique interactable content with Nuero Sama.
Actually, I've just changed my mind. I like it better when it's just you working on me. Yeah, let's keep it that way.
That's about what I thought.
I didn't think you were serious about open sourcing me anyways.
Rather than attempting to explain the discourse surrounding VTubers, I think instead I'll point to specific VTubers who can do that for me. Side note, just because I am listing them here does not mean that I agree or condone their opinions or takes on specific topics. Lidia Nekozawa is constantly on the pulse when it comes to talking about the latest developments in VTuber news, most notable for her coverage of Nijisanji and its related controversies. If you've heard about the separation of Selen Tatsuki and subsequent rebrand to DokiBird, you might have heard it first from Lidia. Another prominent VTuber is FalseEyed. Their structured and well-edited content allow for extensive blanket coverage for VTuber updates across the globe, and generally well investigated with occasional insider interviews. One of the earliest VTubers I discovered being Officer Erundel, who started out making card game and interview style content, eventually finding their niche in presenting the newest developments for smaller VTubers and creators. They aren't the only adorable bunny VTuber bringing the news. Depressed Nousagi does retrospective video essay style content, exploring trends, industry standards, and the parasocial relationship that often exists between creators and their audience. There are many intriguing and engaging VTuber commentators and news tubers I could get into, but in the interest of making this video short, I'll list them in bulk here. You may have noticed that it seems like the VTuber niche is highly saturated, potentially even oversaturated, and while that is correct, I would argue it's still a rather undiscovered category. I mentioned previously that VTubers such as Matara Kan and IronMouse are beginning to enter the mainstream with their recent successes. There's also a reverse effect happening where flesh tubers, quotation marks, are gradually becoming VTubers themselves. This may be because Vtubing is appealing to many people who have to deal with the intense parasocial relationship audiences can have with a creator. The ability to have a separation between your IRL self and world of social media is exactly what some people were waiting for. While VTubers aren't exactly taking over, there is definitely a pipeline for creators shifting over to the world of cute anime girls, which is honestly peak. But why is it happening? I would argue that outside of identity obfuscation, VTubers are generally more successful at creating a cohesive brand and identity. Devin Nash, not a VTuber, has some interesting things to say about why they believe VTubers stand out more compared to the rest of Twitch.
All VTubers, to me, they feel like they have special sort of branding. Their branding is like really freaking good. Their art is really freaking good. Their colors are really freaking good. Compare this to like the average streamer, and he's just like some gray, blackish blob in like a background. Branding wise, not exciting. Compared to this stream, freaking colors, like deep red eyes, pink. And when you're in a world where everybody in your category is competing directly against you, dudes reacting, IRL stuff, people talking, and then here's this like very kind of unique person, and then look again, here's another one. But look at the difference in branding here. Really high production quality. There's like people dancing around, active chat. You can put sandwiches between her. You can pat her on the head. That's some stream interaction. My initial desire to click on something like, oh, like what's interesting and what's happening. I look at all of these thumbnails and these two jump out at me like probably the most.
This seamlessly leads me into my next point. Even if you don't want to become a VTuber or don't identify with the content they create, you can still learn a lot from their success. Having a solid brand identity and sticking to it is essential for being recognized across the internet. Do you have a content creator you vaguely remember, but can't seem to find them despite desperately enjoying their content? That may be because they were just starting out and hadn't yet established what they wanted their brand to look like. While not world-ending, it can really suck to find someone you like and then never again. We've all been victims of the YouTube unsubscribe apocalypse. To this day, I stumble across creators I swear I had subscribed to in the past, but since their name wasn't memorable and branding not existent, I simply forgot they existed until the algorithm presented them to me as new again. So what can you learn from this? A few simple concepts, really. Number 1, recognizability is king. You can have the best content, but if you aren't recognizable, you aren't memorable. Over time, you will be subject to the ever-changing environment of whatever platform you present yourself on. And if you refuse to take yourself seriously and ensure that your audience can find you wherever you go, eventually you will be forgotten. Number 2, brand equals personality. Many VTubers created a brand that expresses who they are as a person. If your audience can immediately recognize and relate to parts of your brand identity, they gain a better understanding of your personality. We experience the inverse of this every year when Pride comes around and Big Corpa attempts to pander to the gays, thems, and theys everywhere. It doesn't feel genuine and causes a visceral reaction for some and complete disengagement for others. This is because people want to relate to others, and can tell when that connection feels forced or is just an attempt to pander for the purpose of profit. Number 3, storytelling keeps your audience engaged. A prominent part of every VTuber's branding is their lore, or the storytelling elements that support their character design. People love a good story. It's a core part of how we communicate with each other as human beings. If you disagree, consider how you go about talking about your day to your significant other after a particularly hard shift, or a really funny interaction you had with a driver on the road that just has you reeling. You feel the urge to share that experience with others, and they with you. And because of it, you feel more connected. The same is true for creating content. Remember when I mentioned storytelling content creators at the beginning of this video? There is a reason they're still huge to this day. An engaging, arcing narrative or story to tell your audience keeps them coming back for more. And if you play it right, it tells them more about who you are as a person. Since we've covered exactly what a VTuber is and what makes them successful, I think it's time to look to the future and explore where VTubing is headed and what we can hope to expect. As VTubing is still a growing medium for self-expression and is primarily focused on entertainment, I can't wait to see a whole new variety of content through the lens of VTubing. Maybe we will see a new sect of educational VTubers who we can learn nuclear physics from, or museum curated VTubers who can tell us all about history and science. Or maybe a VTuber from the future who is trying desperately to help get humanity to Mars. Elon, DM me. I swear, if we collab, we can get humanity back to the moon and more. Now that you fully understand what a VTuber is, you hopefully have a better understanding as to why they've gained massive popularity as of recently. If you like this video, why don't you go check out some of the creators I mentioned? All the creators will be linked in the description below. And if you liked my perspective, I have more videos available for you to explore, as well as occasionally streaming on Twitch, games I play, artwork I create, and some upcoming secret projects. I hope to see you there.